Well, good morning all. Ariel Tzadok here from the KosherTorah School, KosherTorah.com. It is the 14th of July, 2019. I'm in the Red Rock Canyon just outside of Las Vegas, Nevada. A little after 9 o'clock in the morning. Did all the morning prayers, morning meditations, and to continue the meditations, you come out here to the desert. The desert's a very special place in our Torah tradition. It's a special place not only historically, that the children of Israel, when they left Egypt, went into the desert, but it has a spiritual effect, a psychological effect, a psychic effect. And I'm going to explain to you all these things in our short little time that we have here this morning. The lesson that was learned from the Bible. The children of Israel, we all know the story, were brought out of the land of Egypt. They served as slaves. They were involved heavily in a very ancient urban culture, which literally repressed them, compressed them, and oppressed them all at the same time. And now, they have the freedom of movement, of flow, of energy out in the wilderness. But what happened? When it came time for them to embrace that message and live it, it collapsed upon them. A lesson we learned a few weeks ago in the lesson of the 12 spies went to spy out the land. The people were terrified of freedom. They couldn't handle the thought and the concept. And a great lesson was learned. Even though you could take the people out of Egypt, you could not take Egypt out of the people. Those who are slaves to a certain lifestyle remain that way until such a time then they make all the necessary efforts to change and transform themselves from within. And that's the magic of the desert. The desert is isolation. The desert is quiet. Right here in Vegas, we're literally 20 minutes out of town, and you're in the middle of this great desert. It's beautiful. Can't get that living in New York or Chicago or Miami or Paris or London, well, maybe Jerusalem if you head down to the Negev, but understand the nature of the isolation. In the Torah tradition, our meditation is called Hitbodedut. Now, some people today refer to that term as just chatting and talking with God. It is such an absolute contradiction of what the original term meant and what its purpose was, that they've literally watered it down to nothing. Sorry guys, but the truth's got to be told. Real Hitbodedut is taking the power of your mind and expanding it beyond the limitations of all these small things in this world and giving you a taste, a glimpse of the reality of the greater world in which we live. It's not an academic pursuit. It's not theology or doctrine. It's experience. Hitbodedut means isolation. From the word boded. You can have physical isolation. That's all well and cool. But the physical isolation is meant to teach you what's called mental isolation. Mental isolation means you learn to close off the outside world so you can have the inside peace. When we talk about ascending through the worlds, as you know, we have 4 worlds that we use to categorize reality. Others have their systems. We use sephirot. In the Indian tradition, they use chakras and the like. Are they the same? It all depends on whose school of interpretation you want to turn to for the ideas. You have some of our radical extremists in our Jewish faith who look at anything that's ethnically not Jewish and condemn it. They call it idolatry. You know, something these guys really need an education in spirituality. All the more so in what we call in Hebrew derech eretz, to shy them away from their fundamentalism and get them back to authentic halachic, that means according to the law, Torah Judaism. But I'm not here to talk about that. We're here to mention and focus on your inner soul. In our Torah tradition, you got 4 levels, corresponding to God's name, Yud-Kei Vav-Kei. 4 levels. In our language, we call it Asiya, Yitzira, Biri'ah, Atzilut. You're interested in more information, take my courses online, explains all this stuff in detail and what to do with it. The details of this. You have your physical orientation called Asiya, your emotional orientation called Yetzira, your mental orientation called Birya, and then the higher pattern, the original source, the intuitive, psychic, that's how it's tapped into, that's called Atzilut. And that inner original source, you only tap into that when these lower worlds called Birya, Yetzira, and Asiya are in proper alignment and they're quiet. Your behavior and actions in Asiya are proper and good to align you and calibrate you. Your emotions and balance, those are the 6 Sefirot of what we call the Zeir Anpin, are in alignment and balance. You're not too far at the extreme to the right, you're not too far extreme to the left. You learn what it means to be in the center. And then your mind is quiet and calm. That's always the hardest part. Remember, mind, that's where the big problems exist. We call it eating of the tree of knowledge, good and evil. Remember that from the Bible? Yeah. Got to quiet the mind. You got to balance the emotions and make peace your actions. And then you're able to tap into the higher level. When you're able to do that, you're in quiet. You're in peace. You're in mental isolation. The secret of Hitbodedut. You can come out here and do that here in the desert. I don't know if you can hear, I got flies all buzzing around me here. It's over 90 degrees Fahrenheit here in the morning hours. Big deal. At the dry heat, it feels like nothing. I can't really turn the camera around, but I could show you there on the path behind me there. You got hikers out there. Families, people who come out here to embrace nature. Are these people religious people on a spiritual quest? Probably not. But they know and understand the power of the solitude and the silence. And the reason why they're out here is because it gives them something and they know it. They might not know what they know, but deep inside they know it. So I say to you, you want to discover the truth of what we call God. Don't go looking out there into the skies. Your answer is not in some E.T. flying saucer kind of stuff like that. You're not going to find God coming off a UFO. You want to find God, you can go to your religious schools and look at all your books, and they'll tell you everything you want to know about God. But the truth of it is, it won't give you the experience. You want to experience the divine, come to that which the divine has made. Come and experience that where the divine is. As we say in our Torah tradition, Malo kol haaretz kavodo, God's kavod, which means his power, his energy, his glory, his Shekhinah, the feminine essence, the power of what we call Mother Earth. Come back to where she's at. We bond with our Heavenly Father through bonding with our earthly mother. And this is the secret of Hitbodedut, silence of the mind, balance of the heart, harmony of action. Learn these things. This is what our KosherTorah school is all about to teach you, to give you guidance and instruction in practical applications of meditative tradition, expanding your mind to experience the greater reality, not just to have peace and quiet. That's all well and good, but that's only step one to go beyond. Learn how to go beyond. The time has come. It is all time for us now to grow up and mature. Like Arthur C. Clarke wrote years ago in his novel, Childhood's End. Well, it's time to take childhood's end. Our childhood, humanity's childhood. It's time for us to grow up as a race. We've got to put all this BS garbage that's been dividing us and confusing us and distracting us, put it all aside. Get back to the quiet, the solitude, the Hitbodedut. You're interested? Ariel Tzadok here from the KosherTorah School. Come join us. Come learn with us. See what we have to offer you, and you'll see for yourselves. Take it from there. Ariel Tzadok here. See you later. Shalom.